Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, hello, and welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome on back. Thank you for joining me for yet another upload. We will be discussing some details in the Idaho 4 case regarding Bryan Kohberger in this video. And before we get started, if you guys could just smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you do appreciate today's case coverage. And without further ado, let's just go ahead and get right into it. So today we discussed this on the live, but I wanted to make a shorter video for the people that can't go, for the whole live. Today we're going to be discussing Brittany Hislop, which is the lady that's come forward that claims that she is in love with Bryan Kohberger. I have a couple videos I wanted to play for you guys. The first one being a new video's come out. It was an interview on News Nation with psychotherapist Robbie Ludwig. And we'll get to hear her take on this in the first video. And then the second video, it'll be, why do women fall for accused killers? So I think that'll be it'll be good to watch. It'll be good information. Also, if you don't know who Brittany Hislop is, this is a picture of her. So she is a 30-some-year-old mother of a 16-year-old boy, and she feels like she is in love with Michael Kohberger. She has written him a letter every single day that he, I guess, has been in jail since he was arrested on December 30th. And we're going to learn why maybe girls do this, because it's out of my pay grade. It's out of my mind. So I'm going to go ahead and play these for you here. Hopefully they're not too loud. I'll go ahead and lower the volume so it doesn't hurt your ears as we're playing them.
Doctor, it's great to see you. Thanks so much for coming on.
Great. Also, can somebody tell me why, how the guy Jesse from Law and Crime, how did he get to News Nation? I didn't know that he was at News Nation now. So that's something that I learned today.
Doctor, it's great to see you. Thanks so much for coming on.
Great to be here.
Surprised, not surprised, that this is not the first time we've seen this, right? We've seen it with Ted Bundy. We've seen it with Charles Manson. What is the obsession with these kinds of defendants? I mean, is it the danger of it? Is it the fame of it? Why do people get attached?
Well, they are famous, infamous, and I think there's a confusion there. And there's something about a dangerous man that can be appealing to some women. And there's a seductiveness there with many of these men in prison, so they can be very charming. The advantage of pursuing somebody who is behind bars is you don't have to deal with them in real life. So they can't frustrate you. There are bars that separate you from them. So they won't leave socks on the ground, dirty dishes in the sink. They're more of a fantasy in reality.
Well, if that's the case, then I think all of us should need to date people in prison. They're not going to leave their socks around. Could you imagine the stress-free? I would be so stress-free if I didn't have to pick up a pair of socks the rest of my days. Just the thought of it. But no, in reality, that would just be, I don't believe that. You have to be mentally deranged to want to date somebody that's in prison. I'm sorry. I know that there are people that are going to be coming for me for that, for saying like, oh no, you can fall in love in prison. Yeah, you can. But if you've just killed, or supposedly you're accused of killing 4 innocent young people, then you don't get to have a girlfriend. You don't get to have a life inside a prison.
Here's more of what she has to say about him. So she goes, if anyone ever says that I can't be sexually attracted to my love interest, Bryan, as well as genuinely care about his well-being at the same time, I know for a fact that they're wrong, since I feel both of those things for him. And although I'm sexually attracted to him, I also wish I had a significant mutual bond that isn't just based on sex. By the way, this is someone who's never met him, and the only reason she even knows who he is because of the horrific crimes that he's accused of. So the reason I ask you that is because it seems to me, you mentioned fame. If she's also not...
Also, drop in the comments if you guys would be up to dating a man in prison. I would just be curious if you guys would be up to doing that.
just writing him, she's posting on Facebook, right?
Right.
She doesn't have to do that. If she really loves him, she just send him the notes. Doesn't it
Yeah.
seem she's trying to get something out of this?
Well, they've done studies, and millennials, what they want most is fame. So she could be seeking fame for herself. But when I saw this, I also thought of a love addict, right? And love addicts often have fantasy relationships with somebody who's not really available to them. They project all of their wishes onto this man, and it doesn't need to happen in reality.
Thank you for watching. Go to NewsNation.
She's the same age as me, so I'm going to say that's wrong. I don't agree with that. But there is one more clip I want to show you guys also. This was what I was telling you guys in the beginning of the video. This is the, why do some women fall for, accused killers? So we're going to discuss it with this gentleman here. And I need some shades like him. I think I'm going to have to start wearing those on our lives, because normally I'm on camera, especially during the live. So I might have to get me a pair of shades like that. So let's see what he has to say about these pen pals, women pens, love letters to Bryan Kohberger. I also want to tell you guys as well, this isn't the only woman woman or girl that's come forward. There's another one out there. I just can't seem to find her. But she came forward and she's in love with him too. So there's more than one out there.
I can't understand anybody who would admire someone like this. So I am being told that the letters are going to Kohberger's attorney first, who's taking a look through them, and then they're going off to the authorities for follow-up. And by the way, those are the kinds of things that can get you in a whole...
Shouldn't that be opposite? Shouldn't the letters go to the police department first, and then they can say if they're, they should be that it should be allowed to be given to the defendants and the prosecution? I mean, I don't know.
Heap of trouble if you threaten someone's life. So, Dr. Aaron, can you dovetail off of what Larry just said about the kind of person? I mean, for instance, Brittany Hislop. What exactly would they possibly see in someone whose headlines are only awful?
Yeah, I think he made a really good point where I think, first of all, there's this allure of the bad boy, and maybe a lot of women are attracted to bad boys generally, who are kind of confident and they're rule breakers or whatever. That may be attractive to a lot of women. But in addition, this is a bad boy who's a captive audience. And this is an individual who is not going anywhere. This is an individual that's not going to leave them. This is a guy who's always going to be there and probably is so bored that he's always going to be receptive to their life.
I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong, ladies, but I feel like girls do like bad boys. We do. But I feel like we grow out of that. I believe that in my 20s, maybe my late teens, bad boys, yeah, for sure. Bend the rules a little, break the rules a little. Hot, right? Okay. No, not so much now. When you're in your 30s, you hit an age where you don't want that anymore. You don't want drama. You just want, peace and quiet and a good relationship. So I don't know.
Letters. So this is kind of a fantasy scenario of a kind of a true love with the ideal bad boy. And the fantasy is so strong that kind of maybe some of the details are a little bit less relevant because the main thing...
That's it. That's exactly where I was going with this. Is this a compartmental, well, literally a willful blindness to the horrors that he visited upon these 4 innocent children, to the horror that they went through in the last moments of their life, to the horrors that have been left behind for their families, to the horrors for everyone else who feels now like we know these 4 kids and can't imagine that someone could do this? Are these people just that clueless, or are they just that unkind to humanity that they could just compartmentalize that stuff away, Doctor?
They're lonely.
Well, I think it's a very self-centered focus because the fantasy predominates everything.
Thank you for watching. Go to news.
Okay, so sorry about that. I want to know your thoughts below on this matter. What do you guys think on this subject? Would you guys date somebody that's in prison? I also want to mention, and if you guys stay to the end, it is pretty humorous, that this Brittany Hislop, she's been known to date prisoners before. She dated she was connected to a murderer, a stabbing of 2 women, and he was in prison, and he put her, after she was sending him commissary, visitations, all of that, he ended up blocking her because he said she was so crazy. So he gave up commissary, money, all of that just to block her, and didn't even want to spend 1 hour of visitation with her. It's not like he was a real, like, out in the public where he had to actually see her and hang out. You have to, you have to go back to your cell after an hour or whatever in visitation. He couldn't even pull through all that. That's how bad and mentally deranged this woman is. So with that said, that's all I have for you guys for this video today, but this one is a doozy, let me tell you. I have a few more videos that'll be coming out today, tomorrow, the next day. So just be sure that you have all of your notifications on and you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure that you double check to make sure you are subscribed, because sometimes YouTube does unsubscribe you guys. But I love you guys so much. You have a wonderful evening, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye, guys.